Good evening, everybody. Um, Here's my ES market recap for April 13th. And well, I goofed up a little bit today because I ended up making some two counter trade moves, took my stops out. And, in hindsight, I'm just going, what was I thinking? Because the trend was just clearly up the whole day. And there's some of this back and forth. That's kind of where I got caught, thinking, okay, you have targets below, but there was a target up, that 63.75, and there was going to be stops up in here. You see right up in here and right up in here. So, I got on the wrong side of the highway today. That was, I have a little screenshot. Maybe I can examine what I did. See here, this would have been an ideal moment to go long. But, I saw this activity with the sellers, and I mistakenly thought, okay, this is where this could come turn around and try to get back down into here. So I was looking to try to, get somewhere down into here, and you had this previous liquidity, and it was just, that I gotta stop doing that. That is a big thing. Just do not pick anything counter trend. As a new trader like me, still learning, that's bad. That's bad, bad, bad. Do not go counter trend. And I could kind of see that it was going long, and I should have been, zoom out. Who's in control here? So let's look at this real quick. So that was around 850. We go back to around 850 here. And this is, you had that initial, you had this ping pong right here, right? You had this little ping pong match here, and then it went up. I could kind of, I was looking at it in the morning, and, I was going, okay, this is, you got this little one coming up, and you got a little stop divergence there. Big iceberg went off. I had the sell stop into the iceberg. I don't know if the absorptions here are telling me much. Then it went off. And at this point, that's when I should have, when this VPOC shifted, I should have just been like, I'm going long here. The context is long. We see who's in control. It's the buyers, and they're going long. And so where was I? See, I was at an ideal point. Because see, I screwed up here, and then I saw this, and for whatever reason, I didn't get out. Thank God it was in simulation, because I'm still working in simulation. But in hindsight here, which is like, oh yeah, you see everything 2020 in hindsight, but I'm just reviewing what I did right now, so I got in somewhere around there. And then you had this retest here, the stop divergence, and the context was long, so I should have been like, look here, the sellers, they're running out of gas here. Look, 604, 364, 9. So they've run out of gas right here. Look, you got no more sellers interested. So I at least should have been looking at up to here. Get in here, if you can make it up to there, that's a good 8 points plus your scale. So that's would not be a bad day to end right there. But there were higher targets. Like I look at this 63, and that was going back to this this micro composite, and you see it's filling in this whole consolidation here. We have a bunch of overlapping back and forth. So I drew this micro composite, and that micro composite VPOC. Oh no, that's 4131. There was some other one that had a VPOC. It must have been this one. Oh no, you know what? This 4163, that's that big micro composite from back in February. Let me look at that. Yeah, see this hollow looking volume profile? See, that one was 63. Now it finally got breached. So that could be a sign of it going higher. Because RTH high was 4177. So it finally breached that other micro composite. Or I guess, no, that's a composite. I'd have to call it a composite. I'd say these daily ones, those are micro composites. And then I would call this a composite, a bigger one. So yeah, I was just on the wrong. Look, there's not a single red. This is the only red candle right up at the end, and it looks like that may have been, that was right at the end. So I was just out of context. I was not reading it. So I had 2 failed trades, and then so right there, I didn't happen to get a screenshot. I thought I captured the screenshot of the other one, but something must have went wrong when I pressed the hotkeys for screenshot. Normally in Bookmap you can do a Control S, and then it's going to do your screenshots. So something went wrong there. But I had this one, and that was a flop because I should have been looking at this. Look at that stop divergence right there. That's like a good one. See, that's a yeah. See, there's some stop divergence. But I was looking at these targets and then maybe price check of the VHVN down below, which was not the case. In a higher time frame, there were multiple higher targets, and I was just not in context. I didn't sleep very well either, so I was a little bit out of it. And well, that's the way it goes. It's trading, so it's like you're going to fail very often, and that's just part of the deal. But looking at it now, I'm like, why did I go counter trend? Why do I think it's coming back down? The VPOC shifted. Look, you've got a whole 2 hours right there, and then it shifted. Or no, not 2 hours, but what is that from pre-market up until about what is this, 8:03? So you had an hour and a half, VPOC was in the same place, then it shifts up significantly. Look from 30 up to, it bumped up 13 points, and then it's just stayed there. And so just look how ironic is that, because I got in a trade, I saw something. It was just the opposite of what was going on, what I should have done. So I was right here, and see, if I had just gone the other direction, I would have made it to at least here. This is probably where I would have, if I went long on a 2 lot, I'd get scaled somewhere up here. Then once I start seeing this, this is probably where I would get off the bus, just because that's liquidity getting filled. Although there are those higher targets at 41.63, which would have made it up there. Even went way further, but I didn't see any of that coming. There's no way I would have been able to stay in it through that whole thing right there. But here, let me bring up what economic news. Oh, let's look at this playbook. Okay, let's bring this up. So see, we opened. Well, I suppose we'd call this I don't know if you can really call that lower in range. It's kind of, yeah, I guess here's RTH open 41.30, and that's right on this composite line. So found support at this composite VPOC. That should have been a giveaway to me right there. It's good to review this because, you don't review it, then how are you going to continue learning? So, okay, so we'd look at lower in range, which it didn't look like this. It looked, maybe it was more like that if you had to pick one. Because you got a lower in range, it's going down lower, lower in range, testing down lower. Here's one where it's going up. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, previous high or low, that it broken 75% of the time, so that's a high probability. And this is saying overnight low, favored by 22% more than the ONH. So that's pretty significant. Which let me see what the ONH was. Oh, see there's 4110 is the overnight low. So did it come back and test 4110 at any point? No, that's I try to keep my book map on in the evening so I get a portion of the what's happening overnight. So this is going back to around midnight. So it went down. Overnight low was well, something earlier in that session must have gone even lower than that. Because I got 1775 right here. This is saying 4110.25 is the ETH low. It tested yesterday's low. or no, it's no. It tested yesterday's close. It tested yesterday's close. Let me go into here. And, oh no, okay, overnight low tested but not broken. Breakout higher out of the morning consolidation and through the IBH, and previous high puts buyers in control when the market opens low in range and the IBH is broken. The ONH stat jumps to 63% from 48%. That's significant there, 63 from that. So it opened lower in range. And when was the IBH broken? So you had the IBH here, and this didn't get broken until, I'll draw it here. There's your IBH. So that there it broke, came back down. This is where I did my dumb trade. It's it was the right place to interact. I just did the opposite. Totally did the opposite. And then I did one later that was also messed up. But I did have some distractions and I was tired. That is important to get some quality sleep. Some nights, I can only sleep 4 or 5 hours, and then I have to try to get an afternoon nap just because I am pooped out. Like by 1:30 p.m. for me, after market close, I'm just kind of like, "Whoa, man, I'm getting a little drowsy here. I need to take a nap for a few hours." And I'd like to get all that sleep in one go. Sometimes I do. Other nights it's just like I'm laying there tossing and turning, and I'm just like, man, I can't sleep. I've got other stuff to do, so I try to do something for a few hours, and then I, try to take some melatonin or something, and try to go to sleep. But anyway, I guess that's off the subject of the video. Well, not really. Like you can't sleep properly. How are you going to make decisions? Involving money here. You've got to take care of your sleep big time. That's a big one. Okay, well, here's today. Yesterday we had some big events. So we had all that stuff at 4. See, here's a CPI. You have all the CPIs. You had a crude oil. Here's a bunch of other stuff that's not a huge deal. You had FOMC minutes. That's a big one. A lot of economic events yesterday. What do we have today? It's oh yeah, jobless claims. Look, well, see, so for some reason, look, that's not good. That's not something we want to hear. Is that there's more jobless claims? That's very sad and concerning, just for our society. To see that. We don't want people jobless. That's very sad. But that just shot the market up. That was one of the things going on today. And plus, you had a bunch of shorts on the hook. That are higher time frame participants. We had multiple days of pretty strong short moves. and their stops were sitting right above there. So you have this day of shorts, you have this day of shorts. Higher time frame context was still up for now. You have this pattern here, where you see this volume. This came back and tested this overall cluster there, and then came up higher, and it took a bunch of these stops out. In fact, you might even have had longer term participants here that were under the 63, or somewhere hereabouts, and they just got a bunch of stops taken out, theoretically, if they were in there and didn't see it coming. So, what else here today? We've got, oh, was that today? Okay, PPI is usually a big deal. Yeah, jobless claims. Look, negative news. Look, negative news for the big one, negative news for that one. Very concerning. I wish we didn't have those numbers. Has, but see, look, a negative news event, a negative news event, negative. That was positive right there. Wait, let me get back here. Okay, so we have more natural gas storage. That's good. But see, we had multiple negative things. Look, bad, 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 bad. Look at your major ones. Look, bad, market went up. Bad, market went up. This is all pre-market, but bad, bad, bad. So like your three major US dollar news events here, those were bad, and then the market went up. I'm not any economist, but seems to be like an inverse correlation sometimes with the news. Something bad comes out with the report, then it goes up, and then sometimes you get good news and the market goes down. Seems like there could be an inverse correlation there, but I'm not an economist. I'm a guy trying to figure out how to trade. Like to be somewhat aware of current events and reports and what's going on with the economy and stuff. But well, I think that's a pretty good overview for now. So if I had to sum up everything from today, it is I just get my butt kicked every time I try to do a counter. Almost every time I try to do something counter trend. See if it's a neutral day, then you got chance for IBFs. If it's a trending day, then your IB setup is a continuation. So like in this case, here's your like here it wouldn't have worked out well. Most likely would have gotten stopped there on an IBC, but then it came down. The V pocket shifted, so this would have been your IBC right here. You've got support above this structure. You've got your liquidity has cleared out of the way and piled up there. We couldn't see that at the time, but you're seeing this liquidity is gone. So this kind of makes you think, hey, there you got liquidity fill, but it could come down. But then market is saying, there's your volume point of control, and it shifted up. So that would have been your IBC entry right there. And then 63 was about as far away as I could potentially see something going. Make a market can do anything. Always got to remember that. But 63 was a higher time frame target where there was a lot of volume previously. So on this spot gamma thing, that's just that's just a little thing I'm tinkering with that somebody gave me. I don't know how to read it. Yeah, but I'm going to watch a little more stuff on that. So that's just one of my friends in the bookmap community gave me this thing to put on here to look at. So we'll see if that does anything for me or not. I'm just leaving it there. I'm not making any decisions based off of it for now. I need to learn a lot more about it. And well, I guess I'm going to end this video now. I gotta take, it's getting late. It's 8:14, and I gotta take care of some chores and things. Try to wind down, get myself to sleep. Got another day ahead tomorrow. It's Friday. Although, oh wait, I could go over tomorrow's events real quick here. Okay, we've got retail sales at 5:30 on Pacific time. We've got talking Fed. We've got industrial production, business inventories. So you have stuff that's moderately important. Looks like the retail sales, that's the retail sales, that's the only thing where it says high volatility expected. And the other ones are moderate, but you have enough stuff happening on here that you could get some decent movement. But we'll see. It's been a pretty tough week. So was last week. But yeah, I guess that concludes my review for now. I think it's not a bad one. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll be making another one of these tomorrow.